So, I've had Windows 11 for 2 days now, and it's plastered with issues. But most of these things I'll talk about in episode 7 of the podcast, because I go through basically the install process and how long it took, and what I discovered in Windows 11 that I actually liked. Because yeah, there are things to like about it, as much as upgrading is a stress in itself. The things to like about it are actually quite notable. Talk about group stuff, the transparency thing picked from their theme. I like the curved edges as well for all the windows in general. And there's some great features overall. I love the grouping thing, as I said. There's something else, I forgot what it was. Yeah, there's definitely things to like. I can't complain much about that. But the one thing that really pisses me off, and I've had to go into power management and go device manager even to fix this, is the claim that Microsoft is making, which I'm pretty sure is I'm gonna look at Microsoft MG7 claim. Let's see. Yeah. All this is based on the data centers, that's a Reddit post. Here we go. Right. So Microsoft's dedicated to energy efficiency. And they're dedicated to improving energy efficiency. Yeah, okay. Energy consuming consoles, well, that's not the only thing, unfortunately. Here's the problem. You can't claim to be energy efficient when you've got some very blatant problems with your product. Windows 11 has an issue, and quite a big one at that. The issue is so big that it's caused me non-stop stress for the past few days. Doesn't mean I'm going to go back to Windows 10, but I'm so pissed off that I've had to go through all this. The issue I'm talking about, for those who don't know, is sleep mode. And I'll go on to hibernation after, but anyway, I use sleep mode a lot. I typically use this to put the PC off when I'm not using it, standard, and it just kind of works. I've always had it on Windows 10. It did have an issue before, it woke up itself randomly for no reason, and somehow fixed that with the update orchestra, which just disappeared, I think. And it was fine after that. I never had any issues. It was strange. I even had new devices plugged in and stuff, like Bluetooth keyboards and shit, and it was fine. So I don't know what happened exactly. But in Windows 11, when I did the upgrade, first thing I noticed when putting my PC to sleep is I woke up again immediately, which immediately wasted some time in my day, which is fucking dumb. So I couldn't figure out why it was being woken up, because it has been such a long time since I troubleshooted this sort of thing. So I was looking and looking, and I couldn't find anything. Eventually, I remembered to open command prompt and basically do power config, which is your standard thing really. And the power config literally can tell you, with Dash last week, it'll tell you what woke it up. And for some stupid reason, the wake up device is power button. So whatever the fuck that means, it was waking up my computer. Was I touching the power button when I put it to sleep? No. So what gives here? I'm genuinely confused and baffled. It makes no fucking sense at all. So why it's waking up from quote unquote power button, which I disagree, it's not waking up from that. Because I know I haven't pressed it. I know I haven't even moved my PC. I was just to walk around, which by the way I've wondered because my floorboard seems to be sinking a bit. So if I do this, is it going to shut down? No, nothing. Nothing. Okay. So it's not even the power button. So it's not like it's wonky or it's sensitive. It's nothing to do with that. So I don't know what's going on here. Frankly, I'm really fucking annoyed. Because this shouldn't be happening to begin with. And I'm getting extremely stressed out from it. But that's the first issue. The next thing I wanted to do was troubleshoot it, and I discovered that OBS maybe has a role in this, but I don't know for certain because it never used to wake my PC up. It only waked up when the replay buffer was on, which it is currently, but that was only because I was running a game as well. So essentially I didn't really so I'm getting distracted by the crowd here. What the fuck? What's going on? Let's pick this up anyway. Oh, it's a gift. Okay. Hey, Monster Hunter Worlds event. Skip. Yeah, I don't know what the issue was exactly. Because when I put it to sleep again, after the fact, when I opened it back up, because, you know, at that point I just want to remember it, I don't want to forget to open it, it went to sleep just fine. So it's like, oh, so I just need to play it, like, close it and then open it again. For some reason, but I don't know if that's what's actually happening. So I had a nice night's sleep for the most part. Monday wasn't perfect actually. Woke up the next day happy that it didn't wake up, to my knowledge anyway. I do have it set to auto sleep. And then I put it to sleep in the afternoon as I tend to do some tasks. And then it woke up again. It's that same issue. So I'm stressed again, and I've basically done nothing this time because I don't want to deal with this shit, to put it simply. Like, it's too much to handle, especially just after upgrading the fucking operating system, which in itself is a big deal. So I left it, and then come evening time when I'm about to go to sleep, I put the PC to sleep and the same issue. So last night that was, I put it to sleep and it did the same thing. So it didn't actually change anything whatever I did. So I started panicking and doing a bunch of research, and it led to my loss of sleep last night. But I basically tried to disable things in settings. I looked at a long lengthy article on how to address this, including to go into power options for things. And it didn't really work. It kept the PC asleep, but when I did it again just this afternoon, just now over an hour ago, it came awake again. So I don't know what the fuck's going on. And I think this time actually, no, it wasn't. It still has that power button as a source, which I'm not pressing. And I don't think my headphones are related, because they do have a pause play feature for media. But I don't think these are the problem, because again, it never had this issue on Windows 10. So if it were the problem, these would be the culprit, wouldn't they? But they're not. They had no problems on Windows 10. They weren't waking my PC up when I pressed the headband to autoplay, press, pause, even what do you call that? So there's some stupidity going on here. So I did some research again. I discovered that people were suggesting a hibernate mode, which I didn't even know. I knew it existed, but I didn't even know what it did. So I decided to try it out, and it turns out it's disabled by default. So what the fuck is it? Like, why is it so important? Well, it's the difference between sleep mode and hibernate, apparently. Sleep mode is a low power state where you can sort of more quickly access you can progress, like you have a bunch of windows open and stuff, as I do anyway. And it goes into low power state mode, but it still uses technology and electricity, I think. I could be wrong on that though. But Hibernate will basically capture a snapshot of your current Windows state and basically have it saved so that when you wake up your PC again, it will then allow you to go back to it, but it does like a mini launch thing. Like it shows your BIOS manufacturer and then the BIOS load screen and then login screen. Actually quicker than shutting it down, which I'm quite happy about. Why the hell is this disabled? Like, this is such an important feature. This is energy saving. So, I don't know what's happening here. Like, why the fuck are things so badly designed? It's one of those things I had anxiety about with Windows 11. I knew that there were going to be compromises, but I didn't think they'd be this stupid and this big. And also, all these years later, I've had a laptop with Windows 11 and rarely used it. And I knew that it was compromised when I used that. So it's like, oh. So they never learned their lesson at Microsoft. So nothing makes sense. Sorry, I'm a bit obsessed with the shadow here. It's an interesting shadow there. Yeah, but I'm just like fucking baffled by this. Like, none of this makes sense. I truly do not understand why hibernation is disabled. And you know, my shortcut key is originally like Windows X, Windows plus X even, then U, then S, and then that puts the PC to sleep very quickly. So that's handy for efficiency purposes, and energy efficiency for that matter, because spending less time navigating is like a few extra seconds, and over time that accumulates, and then you end up with like a minute of energy saved. Which can be kind of big in the long run, I guess. I don't know. Could be wrong. But I have to do, instead of S, I have to do H for hibernate. But you can enable it in change power button settings, I think it is. I was a bit unsure about that because it was all greyed out. I was like, oh, not sure about that, but it actually worked, which is rare. The fact it worked first time. So I put it in hibernation mode, thinking, yeah, nothing could wake this up. Because people said that's what it does. They're fucking lying. So I don't know what's going on there. Because it woke up again. Only this time, along with some of the troubleshooting I did as well between that, it woke up to something completely different. Unknown. Yeah, I know. You're probably making the same face I am. What the fuck is that? I don't know, and I still don't know. So something weird is going on with Microsoft here. They're making claims that they're energy saving, but they've created an operating system where they offer a sleep and a hibernate mode. Ideally it should be hibernate instead of sleep, especially as a default. And they're basically compromising by waking up your PC through whatever options when this shouldn't be a thing to begin with. Nothing should be waking it up, especially after it's immediately being put to sleep. So, I do not understand. This isn't energy saving, this is a fucking scam. There's no doubt other things happening as well, behind the scenes. So, I just do not know what's going on here. So that wake up was weird. And eventually, after again a lot of troubleshooting, but this happened last time with OBS, the guys saying I'm launching it again, it stayed in hibernation. And I think it was because I turned off some power management things with like keyboard and mouse, which it shouldn't be even doing, because again, Windows 10, no issues. For some reason Windows 11 has tons of issues. So I don't get what's going on here. It's just baffling. So, I don't know. It's bad. Wait, this has a name? Oh, okay. Yeah. Like, this is a really bad sort of claim from Microsoft, and I think it's even possibly liable for even a lawsuit, because this isn't energy saving. It's actually energy wasting. Not to mention all the fucking e-waste, which is bad for the environment, caused by making Windows 10 no longer available. Not to mention making all these devices unable to update Windows 11. It's ridiculous, and also, like, before you throw it away, please do check if you meet the requirements and try to get it to work. I do recommend it. I just need to enable TPM in the BIOS. It's not actually as hard as it sounds. It's really simple. If you go step by step as well, you can actually probably do it blindfolded until the BIOS menu part at least. But I'm so massively disappointed with this shit though. This claim that there is environmental consciousness and there is, the claim that they're environmentally conscious even, despite the fact they're making so many things fucking obsolete because of Windows 10 being obsolete. So it just makes no sense. I do not understand this logic. And if you want my best advice for people to even respect you as a company and probably investors too, you should make Windows 10, just Windows in general, but you need to release some sort of cross-compatibility code, because at this point I'd rather go with Linux. But I do not want the stress of going through this shit where you're going through Linux and you have to, for some fucking reason, reinstall everything as a Linux executionable, which sucks. And having the option to make an operating system like Windows is good, because that means people can get creative and they can even monetize it themselves. Like, if you're actually a generous company, you wouldn't be laying off people, you wouldn't be causing energy wasting, you wouldn't be causing e-waste. So don't make these fucking claims when you're very much hypocritical about them. And I'd argue it's more respectable to say, yeah, we're energy wasting, we're damaging the environment. That's taking accountability, and that's always a respectful thing, even though it's a bad thing that you're doing. But it's better to take accountability than it is to fucking lie. You lose trust, and that's why people are changing. That's why they want to meet with platforms. So again, fuck off with this bullshit about energy management, energy saving, and fuck off with the environmental consciousness. You don't have that. And start giving the community, to loyal Windows users and probably now Linux users as well, the option to use Windows in cross-compatibility, or what's the other one? I forgot what it's called. Is it reverse compatibility? I can't remember. It's when you can run like old stuff from basically the same thing, like emulators as an example. Anyway, that's all I've got to say. I wonder if anyone else has any experiences they could share. But thanks for listening. I'm just extremely stressed about this, as you could probably tell. Boy, I didn't expect there to be so many problems, and also to briefly talk about these other ones before I say goodbye. The File Explorer has an annoying sub-menu thing that's permanently there. Never used to be a thing on Windows 10, never used to be on Windows 8 or 7, so why is it here? Fuck off. And the other thing is, why can't I pin to quick access? The hell? What does that even mean? Oh, okay, I don't know what that was, that's weird. Oh, that's weird, so okay, drop down list. But there's also the taskbar overflow menu, which I fucking hate. I had a specific setup. I have a lot of icons on there. I can't remove the icons because I use these things pretty regularly. So I just want the option to view everything on the taskbar as it once was. As it was Harry Styles. Goodbye.